Welcome to Odds.com's continuing MLB playoff coverage. It is early Friday morning here on the East Coast, still Thursday night in Los Angeles, where our man Nolly joins us from. Nolly, how are you doing on this Thursday evening?
Jimmy, I've had better days. I'm gonna be honest. Took it on the chin hard today, making little youngster look like Nolan Ryan on the mound. Only get 3 hits in a critical game. You just got to be kidding me. Clayton Kershaw leaving him out there. Just there's just a lot of disappointment. Really, bags are getting packed as we speak. I think fishing poles getting ready. It's not looking good.
Well, I can't wait. We are going to break down that Dodgers game, and I don't mean to laugh. Your seething anger is captivating and riveting, and I can't wait to cap the Dodgers game with you. There's no line yet, so we will be capping that in, I don't know, 8 or 9 hours from now. Friday morning, we will be capping that game. But right now, it is Astros, Rays, and before Game 5, Alex Bregman got his teammates together to watch the documentary on the 2004 Red Sox coming back from 3-0 to stun the Yankees, and Shaba ranks. They beat the Rays again. Astros are the 39th team in postseason history to fall behind 3-0 in the best-of-7 series. They're now only the fourth to keep the series going to a Game 6. Of the previous three to survive this long, two lost in Game 6 of the 99 Mets, 98 Braves, and the other, the Red Sox, who came all the way back to stun the Yankees. The Astros, first time in postseason history, a team has had a leadoff homer and a walk-off homer in the same game. Nolly knows. Big Mo on the side of Big Orange right now. What do you think about these Astros?
Yeah, you got to believe they're scary right now. Like you said, big momentum on that side, and they're fighting. And this is a team that's been here before. They got the guys to do it. And you got George Springer doing his thing like he always does in the playoffs. You got Correa. He seems to have the biggest chip on his shoulder this year about the whole situation, and he's responding. So where they're at right now, the Rays' inability to put up runs on the board, and the way that these Astros, that bullpen keeps succeeding. I keep doubting and they keep succeeding, and they're looking to win, and it's scary right now.
Dusty Baker starts the game with 5 rookies. Are you kidding me? He's pressing all of the right buttons. Correa is in the underneath in the batting cage, gets a little tip about his shoulders. In the 7th inning, hits a hard ball, and he says, "Oh, I felt it. Goes back in the batting cage." He tells Dusty Baker he's going to walk off before he goes up there. That's his second walk off in 69 postseason games or something like that. He has never walked off in 650 some odd MLB regular season games. Let's talk about Game 6. Here we go. Framber Valdez, who was warming up. I mean, if that game moves on to the 10th inning, 11th inning, 12th inning, if the Astros then win, they're completely screwed. Well, not completely screwed because they go with Christian Javier. We'll get into all that. But this first 5 is at 4.5. And my initial feeling when I was just started thinking about what moves to make in this game was, well, they've seen Valdez and Snell. They've seen this bullpen. There's no travel days, so this is the 6th straight game that these two teams have played. I think there'll be offense. The more I started thinking about Valdez and Snell and who is lined up for each team in the bullpen, I switched. Now, my book hasn't opened up the first 5. Bet365 has opened up a first 4.5. That's a 3.5. Heavily juiced to the over, a -130. They've opened up a 7-inning total. That's at 6.5. Heavily juiced to the under. If it wasn't -130 to the under, I probably bet that 7 innings right now. But I want to break it down with you, hear what you have to say. This full game is at 8. It opened up at -120. It's already been a 5-cent move towards the over, so it's -115 now towards the under. And you can get these Rays anywhere between -130 and -150, depending on where you shop. Let's talk about what we expect here. First off, it's the rematch from game one, Snell Valdez. Let's start there. We'll talk about who comes next, but let's start with Snell Valdez. Snell got the better of Valdez in game one, 2-1 Rays win. Snell went 5 innings, 1 earned run, 2 Ks, 2 walks. Why don't we just start with Snell? So you remember game one well, Nolly. It took 29 pitches to get through the first inning. It took 105 to get through 5 innings. And if we look at his postseason, 2-1, 2.87 ERA, 1.21 WHIP, 15 Ks and 15 2/3, 6 walks. I'm not entirely sure why he wasn't able to get strikeouts. What is your expectation of Blake Snell in Game 6 of the ALCS?
Well, when we go back to that game, what I saw is that his inability to get that curveball over for strikes, and that's a big strikeout pitch that he can use, and he wasn't able to get it over, and he was struggling. He did have to labor a little bit, but you see the type of pitcher that he is. He was able to get out of jams and was able to pitch 5 solid innings, only give up 1 earned run off the home run. And one stat that I look at for the 2020 season, his ability to get out with runners in scoring position. So overall in the season, he's given up a 228 batting average overall, but with runners in scoring position, it drops to 143. Runners in scoring position with 2 outs, even lower at 126. Two hits of 16, and with just overall 4 and 28. And so those are numbers that I look at to really quantify what he's able to do under pressure. You know, those numbers tell you that he's a big game guy. And some that happened to him when he talked about in early September, he gave up 4 runs against Miami and pretty much just said, I have to be better, flat out. You know, he's got to pretty much got to be the ace of this ball club. And he seems to have taken it over since then, putting together 6 really good starts, 3 to end the season and 3 here in the postseason. I liked his ability to get out of jams, and I like the way he's going to be performing. I expect his pitches to be on. He's not a guy that's going to be off really often. And then on the other side, for Framber Valdez, the guy's been really, really solid. You look at it at his last five appearances, one time out of the bullpen against the Twins, comes in, gives up 0 runs, 5 innings, just 2 hits. Guy looks really impressive. The one thing that I notice about him, it looks real easy when he's throwing the ball. Doesn't seem to labor too much, up there throwing pretty hard, but that curveball he's got is pretty wicked. And the main thing, his ground ball rate. You know, you look during the 2020 season, he had a ground ball rate about 60%. Here in the postseason, it's at 67.4%. That's something that I love to see out of pitchers. So he's doing his thing to get the soft contact. He was able to hold Tampa Bay to just 4 hits, 2 earned runs. You got to look out for Rosarena. That's the guy that you got to watch out for. The guy's on fire. It's incredible. 6 home runs in 12 postseason games. It's amazing. But you look, not a lot of other guys are really hitting the ball. I mean, they're getting guys on, but they're not able to get hits. They're not stringing it together. So I'm expecting another solid outing. And here in the first 5 is going to be my angle. Dead on, Jimmy. Just as you're saying, I'm looking to take that first 5 under 4.5.
Understandably so. Valdez needed 95 pitches to get through 6 innings of that game 1 start. He went 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 8 Ks, and 4 walks. 81 Fahrenheit at first pitch, clear, 7 miles per hour, sideways right across the diamond at Petco Park. Let's talk about who is going to follow up these pitchers. And first off, we'll go with the Rays. The Rays are in a nice position. Cash has done a spectacular job managing them. They have Diego Castillo and Pete Fairbanks fresh after 2 days off. Nick Anderson, he gave up Correa's Game 5 walk-off homer, but he only threw 21 pitches on Thursday. But the main points are Castillo and Fairbanks fresh. Not only that, nobody has pitched more than 3 games. None of the relievers have reached 4 innings. So this is a fresh bullpen that Cash can put out however he sees fit. Dusty Baker keeps pressing all the right buttons. It's hard not to be a Dusty Baker fan, 71-year-old manager, oldest manager in MLB. But he got pretty lucky that Correa turned on one for a walk-off. Houston burned through 7 pitchers over the 9 innings on Thursday. You would think that puts them in a really bad spot, but it doesn't, because they got Framber Valdez ready to go, and then Christian Javier, who's been excellent out of the bullpen. He's only pitched once in this series. He threw 35 pitches in Game 4. In the postseason, he's thrown 8 1/3, 1 earned run allowed, 4 hits, and 11 Ks. So it's Valdez and then Javier, or on the Rays side, it's Snell, Fairbanks, Anderson if you want him, Castillo. It's all wide open. So that to me tells that in and of itself says under in this baseball game. That's what I want to attack. I don't have the first 5 available at my book. Is your first 5 on the board?
With one of my books, I do have it. It's a little bit juice to the under at minus 115 right now.
And what do you think about the full game under?
I'm going to have to agree. You look at both these bullpens, they've been able to succeed. You look at both of these games in the last 2. The first one getting to 6 runs early and it ends at 7. And again here today ends at 7 after 5 after the first 4. So the bullpens have been doing their job on both sides, really. And so I'm going to have to agree because, like you said, Dusty Baker did a good job and in the same sense, getting a little lucky, I think, because like you said, I saw Framber Valdez warming up, and that's what I was thinking right away. That's a little bit of trouble going deep, but I totally understand it. I totally understand the move. He's trying to win a ball game. He's going after the W. You have to, and so I mean, there's no tomorrow. So he was going to make the right move and got a little lucky, but hey, hats off to them. They're still battling, but I agree. These bullpens are really pitching really well.
And both teams hit lefties hard. The Astros, for whatever reason, and coming off all of the controversy from the banging of trash cans, they didn't hit lefties. For the first time in years, 232, 702 OPS. Come playoff time, they started smashing lefties again. In the postseason, 260 average, 809 OPS versus lefties. Rays hit lefties in the regular season and are hitting lefties in the postseason. 237, 794 in the regular season, 239, 819 in the regular season. So I feel like that's pretty much a wash. If you were going to make a move on the side, maybe you are, what would it be? Do you have a lean here?
I don't know if I'll be making a move here. I do like Snell quite a bit, but seeing how these guys are battling over there, I think the momentum, like you said, that's a big part of what's going on here, and they're feeling themselves over there in Houston. So this should be a nice battle. I expect it to be a hard-fought battle and a pitcher's duel. So totals where I'm looking at more so in this game.
Let me ask you a question from what I'm being offered right now. I could take an under 8 at minus 115. I could take that 7 innings total under 6.5 at minus 130. I don't want to take the 4.5 at under 3.5, but I don't dislike it at the plus 105. Getting a plus number, I don't hate it. I'd prefer under 4.5 and 5, but of those 3 options that are staring at me, under 8 at minus 115, under 6.5 first 7 at minus 130, and under 3.5 first 4.5 innings at plus 105. What appeals to you the most?
Yeah, I'd have to say the full game. Just get a little more wiggle room there, and just the fact that I'm really trusting these pitchers. I'd like these starters to go 5, maybe 6 innings each. Framber Valdez has shown that he's had the ability to go 6, even 7 innings. So I like them to go pretty deep here with their bullpens. A lot of guys in the bullpen. I prefer the full game, but I mean I like that 4 innings. I guess. I mean, was it 4.5 innings? Big reason. They're dealing with the big shadow. They dealt with it today here in the 3rd inning, 3rd, 4th inning, and then the game's going to be an hour later. So right away from the starting point, from game time, they're going to be dealing with shadows. And I saw it was throwing guys off. Even Arrozarena he was off. He just stood there, 2 fastballs right down the middle, and you could see like guys weren't seeing it. So that's going to be an issue early. So I mean, value early. That's more so my my lean. So I wouldn't hate that either at the plus.
Do you think, and the last time we said this, we were wrong. The 4.5 was available. It was a little more juiced. But do you think the first 5 under 4.5 is going to be available in 8 hours at 10 a.m. Eastern time?
That's a good question. I think it might be. I think guys are going to expect these guys to get hit a little bit, being that this second time around. That's one thing that guys like to focus on, and I do focus on that myself. But when I see upper echelon talent, I tend to ride with that. So that's where I'm at there. But I think you might. I think you might insert all depending on certain books, but expect it to be juice, like you said on the last one.
I don't. It's one of the things that I think about what's going to happen with this market is that I think that Blake Snell is going to be better. I know that the second time seeing, I don't think he was. You were talking about the curveball wasn't working for him in game one. I think that Blake Snell can be better. I expect him to be better. And Valdez, I expect a quick hook with Christian Javier sitting there ready to go. And I'm sure that Dusty will speak to him about that. It's not that I'm that nervous about Valdez being touched. You talk about the big bats in the Rays lineup, and Lau finally got off the schneid, but this Rays lineup is scuffling at the plate. Do you agree that this Rays lineup is not strong right now?
They're definitely not strong. You only got a couple guys that are really hitting, and the main thing not stringing many hits together. And that's what you got to do to hit to score runs in scoring position. They've been awful, and so they're just not getting it done. Like you said, I expect Blake Snell to be better. Guys like that, they won't be off often. So if they're able to get you out on an off day, next day they're going to bring it. And being on regular day rest, I expect him to really bring it. There's a big moment for him in his career. We talked about it with Kershaw, but here I think he's primed for a good spot here, Blake Snell, and I really like your angle there. But I mean, as far as him going, Valdez going deeper or not, I still expect him to at least give you 5 or 6. I like because just the effortless tosses he has. He threw 103, comes back out, goes another 6 innings, throws 95 pitches. He's on regular day rest. This is a guy that's in a great shape, and so I expect him to still give you solid innings.
Well, I'm going to be moving on and under. Maybe a double up situation for me. I'm going to see what that first 5 is, and I'm going to think about it over even the next half an hour if I maybe want to come in on this 4.5 at the plus money. First 4.5 under 3.5 at plus 105. I don't want to pick up that minus 130 of juice. I think that is a mistake. That first 7 available here at Bet365. But I'll be making moves on the under. And if I had to move on the side, and I may turn the corner and do this. The only reason why I won't, why I'm hesitant to take the Rays -1 here, because I think the price is nice with Snell on the mound, is that the bats are scuffling. And if you read the interview or watched an interview with Correa afterwards, something clicked for him. And I think he's going to be hitting the ball hard again tomorrow. I fear these Astros bats, and that may keep me off of the Rays -1. If I gave you a free $500 bet on a run line or a money line, what would it be?
I think I'd have to take damn, this is tough. That's tough. That's real tough. But I think I would take Tampa Bay first 5 money line. That's what I think I would take.
Yeah, Tampa Bay first 5 money line. And only a couple books are out with it. And you're getting between -135 and -145, depending on where you shop. Well, there you have it. Astros, Rays, ALCS Game 6 going off tomorrow at 5, I believe it's 6:07 p.m. Eastern. And join us check out our Dodgers breakdown. I can't wait to break it down with Nolly. We don't have a market out right now. We believe we know the starting pitcher for the Dodgers. We're not sure who the starting pitcher is going to be for the Braves. So check us out. Hopefully that video will be out in about 9 or 10 hours. Thank you guys so much for watching this, though, and supporting odds.com. Check out our site, odds.com, and take a look at the articles, the sports books, everything that we have over there. And also follow us on Twitter, odds110. Nolly, I can't wait to talk Dodgers with you, but I don't want it. I want it to be fresh. I want it to be fresh. Maybe if you sleep on it, you won't be so edgy.
Yeah, maybe if I sleep on it, I won't make some calls that I've thought about making already. So but we'll see, man. We'll see if I make it.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have another profitable day in MLB, and it was nice. We had a nice day today, Thursday. That being, let's do it on Friday. Thank you guys for watching. Make that cash, get that cash, and just get paid in full.